reaction was great. We had a wonderful crowd. There was a lot of laughter. There were a lot of tears. So anytime you can move an audience like that, it's incredibly rewarding as a filmmaker. So we were very happy with it. What got me into the story was meeting Suzanne Mitchell and hearing her story as a woman, as a feminist, as the only female in the Cowboys executive organization in the 70s. We thought it was a story, it was an untold story, part of Cowboys history, part of Dallas history, Texas history, and an untold story of a woman that we thought was incredibly powerful. So that's really what drew me to it. I think with any film there's a lot of different directions it can take, and you find a film in the edit room as much as you find it with the characters themselves. So there was a lot of discussion about the direction that the film would take while we were in the edit. There were a lot of different directions we could have gone in. There were about 10 different films I think that we could have easily made, but we really wanted to focus on Suzanne as the heart of the story, on her life story and the things that she was talking about and she was discussing, to use a thread to get through the film. Well, when you're asking the questions on a shoot with all these different characters, it's hard to understand how it's all going to come together, how their stories are going to entwine, how they are going to reflect off of each other and enhance each other. But when you get in the edit room and you start pulling the different stories that are interesting and compelling from the different characters, you start to see a narrative that starts to come together and weave together. We shot on an Alexa and we edited in Final Cut. We used an eyeliner, which is an attachment to the camera that allowed the director and the interviewee to have a direct eye line to each other. So when the character is looking, it's looking right at the audience, right into the camera. During the sexual revolution in the 70s, there were a lot of women who were frankly judging other women about the decisions they were choosing, they were making as women. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders got a lot of pushback from the feminist movement about dressing the way that they dressed and dancing in the ways that they danced, and weren't quite as respectful, I think, as maybe they should have been about women making choices about what they wanted to do and who they wanted to be. Not sure what's next. We're talking about a couple different documentary projects. Hopefully we'll be able to decide on one soon and go do that on another adventure. But we are taking this film to a bunch of festivals in the near future, so people will be able to screen it in all different cities around the country.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.